me?
Yeah.
You can't hear me, can you?
So hi,
Good morning.
welcome. Good morning. So another week's gone by, flown by for me. How have things been for
Another
you this
week.
week? We're already in March.
Yeah, things have been like halfway through March already.
Oh yeah, it's the 15th. You're right. Gosh.
Yeah, yeah, things have been different this week in a good way. And for you too, like tell me about your week.
Yeah, so I've been away in the snow in the mountains, and that's been just glorious. Really felt like it was exactly what I needed to switch off and be very present. If you know, well, as you know, skiing requires full concentration and
Hmm.
focus. And so even when I was not actually skiing up in the mountain, I was just switched off from technology, from life back at home, not really wanting to read or watch anything on Instagram or mails or anything. And so just really being with myself in moments of quiet or with students, which has been lovely too,
Hmm.
or focused on improving my game at skiing. So yeah, really, really present awareness this
Love it.
week. Forced
Hmm.
in a way because it was opportunity to practice it. We did have a shake up a little bit for some of us in my workplace, and that was really interesting to watch, seeing how things can shift people, and it can bring up fear or insecurities about the
Hmm.
unknown. But it was something that I
Yeah.
just felt was coming. I was not surprised
Hmm.
by the news. And I actually always lean into the excitement of change. And so for me,
Yeah.
it was more of a, okay, here we go. Put that helmet back on. Let's see what happens.
Life is gonna get exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
leaning
so
into
while you were
faith.
away skiing,
Sorry.
yeah. While you were away skiing, as you know, I was with your dog Pip, and I, thanks to Pip, I think he sparked all the changes in my routine because I didn't want to leave him home alone, and Bryce doesn't wake up till like 1 p.m. So, um, I was not going to the gym in the morning. I was going to the gym every afternoon. And that was nice because, I was around different people, different teachers. It just felt good going to the same classes, really, but like with a different atmosphere. And I liked that. And I liked getting out of the house a lot to walk Pip. Makes me really want a dog for the cuddles and just for being outside. Like you said, skiing and being outdoors feels so good. Me taking those walks and breathing that fresh air and getting out. Like I know I can do it on my own, but
It's not
like
the
three
same.
times a day, I won't be doing that. With a dog, I will.
Yeah.
Um,
They really pull you out, don't they? They pull you out of
yeah,
your routine. They create a new routine for
they
you.
do. And it felt good. I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed Pip's cuddles and then I also just enjoyed the fact that I was making changes. So I started making changes in my house, like moving things around, sleeping on the other side of the bed. I don't know, just opening the way for something new.
That's great. I mean, I have an
Um,
intention today also to shift pictures around. That was something that in Feng Shui I was looking at
yeah.
years ago. And so today I'm going to do some just rearranging of images around the house just to change up the
Okay.
flow a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Something simple that doesn't require much, but it can make a big
Shifts the
difference.
energy.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
I did come back and had that feeling of wanting to shift energy at home, wanting to
Hmm.
just, yeah, be out more as well.
Freshen up. Like spring is on the horizon, I think.
Yeah, and getting out, moving outside in general is what is calling spring. It is that sense of,
Hmm.
oh, let now we've come out of winter, move
Hmm.
into, so then we went straight to the beach after getting back from skiing and rode bikes, and that sense of exhilaration and speed was just like keeps calling me. I want to keep doing stuff
Yeah.
where I'm moving my body, but yeah, in a fast action way, I think. That's what I feel
Hmm.
excited by right
The
now.
adrenaline.
Yeah, a little bit of that kind of rush.
Yeah. So apart from adrenaline, like I've actually slowed down a lot. I did do some tapping, to clear my negative perception of longing, to weaken that wiring in my brain, and to strengthen longing as power, like calling in my desires. So I was tapping through that, and that felt good. And then I was still doing my breathing and still leaning into just between me and the creator. And so my breathing, instead of going into flow state and that excited, accelerated adrenaline feeling, I was going a lot slower and finding the protection with the creator, just leaning into peace and grounding and stability, just kind of finding that lightness and feeling like, you know what, everything is going to work out. There's a divine order. The creator's got my back.
Yeah. It isn't meant to always feel easy to do that. I think we're meant to be feeling the wobble or the uncertainty to come back into certainty.
Yeah.
I think that is what the practice reminds us of. Like we are human and our minds do get led. And
Yeah.
as we reassess what we're thinking, it gives us that moment to question, yeah, that thought isn't guiding me for the highest good. So let me reframe that.
Yeah.
But it's normal and right that we are constantly working on that
Well, and
return.
I feel like doing it daily in my regular practice, my formal practice, then when the wobble comes up, I can tap into it, into that practice on the spot,
Yeah,
informal practice easily, or not easily, but with more ease than usual because I'm practicing it and it becomes
it's
that
not
wiring in my brain becomes thicker and
yeah,
better as well.
the habit of thought.
Yes. Yes.
So I didn't have any routine of practice this week. It
Yeah.
was
Well,
very much in the moment,
living life
living
to,
life. Yeah.
yeah.
And choosing, like, really, I've laughed so much and lent into the joy and the fun and the humor of circumstances just arising, and just the more I was focusing on the fun of it all, the more fun I was having, and those around me were also having fun, and the dynamics of, so yeah, we went skiing with 78 kids. There was four teachers, 78
Mhm.
kids. And previous to that, you hear stories, people's perception of the situation. And I just
Mhm.
refuse to take any of that in and just lean into the moment by moment. And it is such a pleasure. It really has been a joy to be in communication with these kids, having conversations with them, learning about like myself again as a kid and doing the fun stuff that they enjoy with them. Yeah, it's just been really
If you're having
fun.
fun and you're in that mindset, I feel like you are living the dream. Like
Yeah,
you,
it really did feel like a gift
yeah,
of this is it.
yes.
I don't need to change.
Living life to its fullest and appreciating it.
Yeah, so on to the next adventure. This week there's more showing up. That's adventurous.
Yeah.
And I did take away with me like this idea of what's coming up in my subconscious. And I think I talked about it on the previous one of the previous episodes, where coming back to regulate, there was an incident or instant moment where went into a negative mindset or victim mindset, I suppose you could say.
Mhm.
I did reach out. I was going to phone you. You were
Mhm.
busy. It was
Yeah.
perfect. And so I knew that was exactly what I needed in that moment. And I just chose to regulate. So come back into my nervous system.
Hmm.
I chose to reframe that situation. So instead of leaning into fear, which was the kind of victim
Yeah.
mindset, I moved into more faith and trust and not really knowing the entire circumstance of the situation and just being able to let it go, not
Mhm.
listening to the thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
And then I was able to reconnect with myself again. So coming back into my authenticity, questioning sort of, is what I'm doing true to who I am? If
Hmm.
so, then continue forward. Like there's nothing out of place if I am being authentic to myself
Okay.
within that situation,
Within your thoughts, like the thoughts you're
within my
putting up.
thoughts, but also those thoughts and my behaviors of the
Mm.
situation. So are
How
my
you're showing up.
behaviors in that moment
Yeah.
true to who I am? Yes, they are. So move through that with ease, like move through that from a
Just
place
show up.
of, yeah, truth.
Hmm.
And then I
Nice.
didn't want, yeah. So the next thing after that was recognizing, oh, this is a limiting belief. This is a block. This is something that keeps coming up for me. So working
Hmm.
on that, I think I did that night was the only night. I think I did a DI,
Okay.
like a visualization practice.
Hmm.
And then the last point is to fall in love with life again. And so the
Mm.
next day fed that back to me of, yeah, this is loving life and
Yeah.
sharing that as a gift, not to be sort of ashamed of living life to the fullest, like owning it and loving it and sharing it with those around you too. So they light up and recognize that they're living it with you side by side.
Yeah.
So those were the
It's
things.
hard not to appreciate life on a mountain full of snow on skis.
Well, there was one
Yeah,
particular person who really struggled with that.
that's true. If
But
you're learning, you can be frustrated.
and it was windy snow. It was
Yeah. Okay.
cold. It was
Hmm.
hazy. There was a lot that's why I love being in that trip because learning to be in nature like that when the weather is at you and have all of
Yeah.
the clothes and the boots and the skis and the poles and the helmet and the goggle. Like there is a lot that goes into coming down a mountain.
Yes. Especially
Managing
when you are carrying a lot of poles, right?
exactly. Managing those tools that require you to do this fun,
Yeah.
easy, is a mindset in itself. Like, can you be happy enough to get up the hill and
Hmm.
come down with grace because you chose to go that hill with ease? But the going up is the hard part. It's the coming down that's the fun part. But it's
Yeah.
the mindset around the whole experience, I think, that creates the fun and the joy,
Yeah.
less of the struggle, even
I
though,
guess the challenge is to carry that same amount of fun and joy and adventure into like a normal day.
yeah, which we'll have this week. So
Yeah.
back
Well, so
to,
I guess since my days are normal days, I wasn't there skiing, even though I wanted to be really bad. I was appreciating my day today and like really enjoying and finding gratitude in my day to day, my normal basic day to day. Um, but appreciating the normalness of it and how I get to do what I want with it,
yeah,
or mindset can be how I choose for it. And then noticing as well things working out, little things, but like the evidence of things working out and really liking how things are coming together.
yeah,
And
and
then a little bit of self-care too. Don't ask me why. I've been feeling like I need to look at my nutrition, and sardines are something that have been calling me. So,
we eat so many in this house, so
yeah,
many.
yeah. Well, so then I looked it up afterwards, and I think they're really good for your mood, something about them. So, yeah, I think that plays into it.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, how is your So we're moving through March. March is meant to be a really big change of a month for certain people. That's what I've been hearing. I feel
Yeah.
like for me, it's just been not so big as opposed to seeing the fun and enjoying, like you've just said. Maybe that is a big change for people, though. Maybe
That's how I'm
even
seeing it.
mindset is
Like,
a
if
big
it's going to
thing.
be easier and lighter, and I'll feel taller and stronger, well, then that's a great change.
Yeah, we don't need these, they're not necessarily big miracles that take place. The miracle is like just seeing the everyday, feeling easy and
Yeah.
more freedom in it and more flow. I think that's
Yeah.
what people are searching for, and that's what we all really want our lives to look like.
And noticing things working out, I think, are little miracles or big miracles. Like, they are the miracles.
Yeah.
So,
So this week I'm
yeah.
heading off again, not with children this time.
It is a big month.
I've got my weekend of retreat. And so I'll be heading to Jenny Crowther's retreat in Yorkshire. So from Thursday to Monday, a little bit of, well, a lot of self care and yeah, self love for me in that. Signed
Yeah.
up for that. So I'm excited about that. Something I've wanted to do for the last 2 years. And I just decided this year is going to be the year I do it. So I will be looking forward to coming back and sharing all about that with you and the
Yeah, I can't wait to hear. You'll have some new practices to share with us, I'm sure,
and then
or
the following
experiences.
definitely we'll be bringing the experiences back because the following weekend we're hosting a retreat.
I am so looking forward to that.
We're hosting a retreat
Are,
for teenagers.
are you sure it's the following weekend already? Is March that short?
March is really fast this month, this
Seriously,
year, yeah. So
I feel like there's one more week. It's only 2 weeks away. Okay, cool. Even better. I'm ready for it.
yeah, because it's the week. Oh, sorry, maybe there is another week. It's the 5th of April. So yeah, the end of March
Yeah,
is
I
two
think
weeks
there are three
away.
weeks. Yeah.
So I still have time to prep and plan, even though I'm very much a go with the flow. But yes, we've
I
got,
think you've got it prepped. I'm prepped. I'm ready.
yeah. So we're hosting our retreat that we usually do at Beatnik, but this time it's for our students.
On Saturday, but we are
Saturday.
trying to get the Sunday together for Beatnik, so both could be happening.
Yeah, we're really wanting to come back into spring with retreats and time together as a community and build that vibe up again, which we really love to spend time with people face to face
I love it.
and move
Yes.
together. And so, yeah, we will be continuing with this kind of creating this energy that we want to bring people together with in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Anyone out there who wants to join us, sign up.
Let us know. We'll save your spots. Or if your children go to Pelotedo and they're in third ESO or older, they can join us on Saturday. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely. So this week, have a great one. Moving forward, what are you focusing on? What's your intention?
I am still going to lean into it's just between me and the creator. I'm finding a lot of peace and stability and just that certainty that things are going to work out. It is divine and divinely planned.
Well,
Um,
certainty that you will be okay, however things work out, I think is
well,
quite
exactly.
key.
Like the creator's plan is the divine plan, and that's how
Yeah.
they're going to work out. And it's perfect.
So
So,
trusting the unknown.
mhm.
Our plan, we just don't really know what's best for us.
And appreciating life, like really mm, appreciating when things happen on the spot, but also bringing that into my daily practice more. Like I do it, but I want to do that more. Um, and I'm not sure if I want to do that more as in kind of finding appreciation in a manifesting way. I might test that out in a way that like I'm seeing myself how I want the wish fulfilled and appreciating the wish fulfilled, kind of testing that out as if it's already happened. Like I'm so grateful the way this played out today, even though it's like a future scene.
Mm, mm.
I'm going to try that
So is
this
that
week.
journaling or
I I'm not sure if it's going to be journaling or just as I'm doing my breathing, kind of going into the dream and saying, "Oh, I'm so grateful for this day and it was so good and I'm so grateful I am this way because these things are happening to me."
that takes me back to the exercise that I did at the beginning of the year, where you're writing something of gratitude about something true, and then
Yeah.
under that one, you write about something of gratitude that is what you want in the future, but you write it as if it were true in the present.
And like sandwich it between. So
Yeah,
your brain is just like, yeah, it's all
yeah,
true.
it's all
And
true.
yeah. So maybe I'll write it too if I want to be more intentional.
I
But I'm
really
going to start with
find
breathing. You recommend the writing. A lot
well,
of people do.
I definitely ground into it more writing. I have a stronger sense of visual focus when I'm writing out a story or a script rather than just, well, no, it does work when I'm meditating too and visualizing, but it feels more joy. It feels more heartfelt when I'm writing. I think
Okay.
it's the hand connection, the movement.
Yeah, possibly. I think I feel the same, but what I appreciate about the writing is if I go back through a journal and I've done one of those, because I have done some, and I read them and like there might be something that I misplaced, like maybe a place or a person, but like the bulk of it, I would say like
Yeah.
85% of it did play out. And
Yeah.
I love seeing it. So it's like evidence in the
Yeah.
book that, yeah, it is playing out for the most part.
And then when you're experiencing that reality is in front of you, when it's playing out, it doesn't feel so, it feels almost like, of course, this is happening. It doesn't
Yeah, I've
feel like,
practiced it.
wow, this has hit me out of the blue. This is just a sense of, yeah, I'm ready for this. I feel this has been here before me. Like,
Yeah, I've already written about this, so of
yeah,
course it's happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think my practice actually, as I'm thinking, listening to you, is going to
Mm,
be we have a circumstance like, we're renovating a property by the beach.
hmm
It currently, in reality, isn't looking anything like what we are expecting it to look like.
Okay.
So we're having to sit in this trust of it working out
Okay.
while also needing to speak out and correct things that need to be done properly. So
hmm
there's a duality at play of like we actually need to be
The
very
future and
present
now.
there.
Yeah.
It
hmm
requires us to be on site and be awake to not just trust that everyone does their work properly because
Yeah.
it
So
needs
do you think,
our action to make it happen correctly. It feels that's what's going on.
yeah. So what I was going to ask is, do you think, so when it's like that manifesting state of like you go to the wish fulfilled, sometimes they say like be delusional, ignore the 3D, like ignore what you're seeing and just keep seeing the future version. Would that be helpful? Like when you're seeing these people doing things wrong, can you just keep going into that future version of where it's going and
Um, for me, it feels like that would be
too
delusional
much
in a
delusion?
negative way.
Like burying your
I
head under the
actually
sand.
need to
Yeah.
step up and
And
take
take action.
ownership
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And I do
make
think
it.
action is important too. So if that is the action that is necessary right then and there, yes.
Yeah. And I don't want to think about my walls being filled in and there's damp between the walls, kind of, that
So
idea.
maybe it's the taking the action, but without the fear of, oh, there might be damp. It's taking the action because you're guiding them towards that future vision.
Yeah. And I do think that my future goals require much more of this kind of action this is
Yeah.
something I want to be within, working in.
And so
And
it's
so
training
it's
as well.
training. It's
Yeah.
training.
Hmm.
And so showing up and not turning a blind eye to something that doesn't sit right or
Okay.
feel comfortable is part of my future self
Yeah,
persona.
yeah. So like finding the joy there
Oh,
and like living the life there.
and not being in that, oh, it's all going like catastrophizing things. That's not true
Yeah.
at all. We're picking things up, we're correcting things as we move along, we're sweeping the floor as we go, kind of thing, like keeping keeping
Yeah.
the outcome clean and focused and beautiful. But along the
Hmm.
way, it's not like that. It's dirty. You have to just keep sweeping the floor as you go.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah. Because you're working your way up the mountain and then you'll ski down it.
That's it. Good
So,
again for next time. All right. Well,
very good.
thanks so much. Lovely
Thank you.
conversation. And
Can't
we'll
wait to hear all about the retreat. And yeah, it'll give us some ideas for our own retreat probably too that we can incorporate
definitely,
after.
definitely take
Okay. Take